Countdown clock on the overlay. Chest scrolling fast, can't read a thing. Got my day ones, got some new names. All riding in on this pixel wave. Same fresh quick, they're ready just hit. Hype train roll with the stickers lit. SRE, just fam, no C-modes. Fill the screen in hell. Rocking in the new year on Steve's very own. Every fall like a firework blow. From the VODs to the live shows on. We're loud, we're here. Rocking in the new year on Steve's very own. From the lights up to the chat full blown. If you're in this stream, you're never alone. We're loud, we're here, we're home. Take that shot when the timer drops. Hit go live and the beat just pops. Got bad jokes in my bed.
That's quite big.
Quiet nights into wild
Impressive.
pull up chairs in a digital room. Turn that late night scroll to a full-on boom. I say 3, 2, 1, let's ride. You flood the screen, all caps in the sky. Rocking in the new year on Steve's very own. Every follow like a firework blow. From the VODs to the live shows, oh we're loud. We're here, we're home. Rocking in the new year on Steve's very own. From the lurch right to the chat full blown. If you're in this stream, you're never alone. We're loud, we're here, we're home. Type it out, let me see those
Cage matches? Yeah, they work. How could they not work? If they didn't work, everybody would still be in the cage.
Massive dreams, we're building this brick by brick as a team. New year, same crew, new plans to own. New clips, new bits, new inside jokes. Turn it up till the neighbors know. Steve's very own, let the whole world know. Rocking in the new year on Steve's very own. Every follow like a firework blown. From the VODs to the live shows on. We're loud, we're here, we're home. Rocking in the new year on Steve's very own. From the spot to the chat full blown. If you're in this stream, you're never alone. We're loud, we're here, we're home. 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 Click on the stream, light the spark. Steve's very own, tearing through the dark. Boom, my fingers on the keys. Old school rhythm, bend in the breeze. Building his world one clip at a time. Pixel by pixel, climbing the climb. No map, no guide, just the screen's glow. Steve very own and the show. Hey chat, you there? Hey chat, who cares? Steve's very own. Breaking the code. He's got the fire. Riding the load. Steve's very own. The crowd's his home. Streaming a soul into the unknown. Gamepad shaking, voice alive. Every moment's fight or survive. Boomers laugh, cuts through the air. Trolls and fans, they're all out there.
Ooh, that's kind of small.
The scenes collide.
Yikes.
To stem the tide, the grind, the rise, the late night tunes. Steve's anthem under the moon. Steve's very own.
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. Welcome to the stream. I hope everybody is fine today. Let's see. What are we going to play today?
Steve,
Hello.
someone has joined the chat on Twitch. Hello.
Hello. How you doing, Rez? Welcome to the stream. How are ya? Glad you can stop by. So today we're doing a no Windows Wednesday. Still updating my Linux setup. So yesterday I had showed I have voice control going. Let's see if it's listening to me. Let's see. Computer left camera. There I am. Hi. Computer main view. Awesome. So I am using Vosk, V-O-S-K, with Sound Device, which has helps Vox to hear the commands. A Python script with some OBS CMD in it. Very relatively simple. It's probably the biggest project I have ever taken in doing something for my Linux setup. Your live is always awesome, awesome, Rez. Glad you can come by. So voice control, why did I need voice control? Well, I wanted it. I wanted to be able to just say commands and, if I'm talking and I could easily hit the button. I could change it up on OBS. I guess I could do hotkeys, but being on Linux and on Wayland, the global hotkeys are kind of a mess. And I wanted to be up for the challenge. I wanted to have what I have over on Windows, which I'm not going to get 100%. So in Linux, I decided to check out some voice activation software. Started off with Speak to AI, which is supposed to have some great dictation abilities. Can work, I guess, with this, but I had a devil of a time. And I will be honest, I am not a dev or anything like that. My programming skills are very light. And I have used ChatGPT to help me build this. I've used ChatGPT to help me with a couple of things here to automate this system and all that. Learning from it, learning the since the free version of ChatGPT isn't their top tier, and I'm not about to pay for it, and I'll probably be moving away from that a little bit with all the controversy. Oh no, controversy! We can't have controversy, but with what's going on with OpenAI. But it is listening to me very well. Today I left up the terminal that's running it, and it's picking up pretty much everything that I hear. I hear. So the problem with Speak to AI, when it would be quiet, it would pick up. It would be printing words that no one is saying. And I had nothing running in the background, so it wasn't picking up from any other sound source by accident. I don't know what was it doing? I don't know. I just don't know. But it wasn't running the commands. It would not pick up my voice. It would pick up voices when it was quiet, and then when I would talk, it would go, "Oh, I don't hear you." So then we tried Whisper, which I guess is a back end of Speak to AI. Just about as bad, So I was getting ready to move to, I had looked up, I guess is it Speak to Jason or JSON? And ChatGPT recommended Vosk. in 3/4 of the time that it took to try to set up speak to AI, we had Vosk running and the commands that just picked it up right away. Computer, right monitor. Boom. Seems like all the time. So here's the real-time hearing. Here it says heard. When it runs, it'll say switching to and executing, switch to scene, and switching to scene, desktop right. It's picking up right, just the way I want it. And this will go on. So I can kind of bring this up like in a quiet mode where I don't have to listen to this, but it's going on, it's listening. It's kind of like what StreamerBot does in Windows, but it's working through the Windows voice control. And Windows comes with voice control for voice dictation and all that. Linux does not. Created a folder called voice control. In it, I created a virtual envelope. Is that what it's called? It runs in here because there's certain Python things that wouldn't install globally or when I was just trying to do it on my regular system. And I only need this to run when I'm streaming. So we did a virtual and it runs from in here. You got to bring up the terminal in the file. It's on my voice control file. And it's running off of a Python script. Now, to test kind of what ChatGPT did, I was on my tablet last night, and I have a Lenovo tablet that has Perplexity on it. And I've not used Perplexity yet. And I started asking questions about Vosk and all that, and then I had a thing going, and it says, well, if you'd like me to look at it, we can see what if there's any improvements that need to be done. Sure, why not? So I put this is the original voice control script from ChatGPT. I put it in, and it says, oh, it's a pretty rock solid, but it needs a little bit of a cleanup. There's some spaces that shouldn't be there, and it should run pretty good. So right now I'm running off of this Python script to pick up this. With my Touch Portal deck, it'll run bash scripts. So then I created a bash script. So once I start up Touch Portal and all that, I can then go on my start my voice control, and then I can end my voice control when I start it this way. That way I could shut it down a lot easier, and I don't have to see this. It kind of runs in the background. Yeah, I mean, so far, so good. It seems to be picking up most of what I'm saying. Probably when I talk too fast and all that, I don't really need to see all this other stuff. But as I showed yesterday, let's open up a new window. And let's see. I created a text of what I had done. And yes, I used ChatGPT to put this together for me. And I went through this yesterday, so you could watch the video, but we can go over it a little bit today. And the goal was to build a local voice command system that lets you switch scenes in OBS by using commands like gameplay, left camera, story time. But the keyword, we got a wake word, is computer. So it will listen to a command, for the OBS CMD command, to switch scenes. And I got that running through that Python script. And it was very, relatively simple to install. the thing that I had read about Vosk is that it's multi-platform. So Vosk will work on Windows, Linux, and Mac. So what I did here for those, Windows has got its own, and if you're running StreamerBot on Windows, you're going okay. I don't know the complexity, if it would change a bit in Mac and how Python and all that works. But if you can get Vosk going on that, you might be able to do the same if you're looking for a voice control for your OBS. Mac may have it. I'm not very familiar with Mac, so I do not know. But the option is there if anybody wants this. I got this posted on my Discord server. And I also posted it in the Linux Mac StreamerBot chat because they were talking about voice control. I don't know. I don't know what it would encounter. I might, if because one of the issues is in StreamerBot, it's embedded in StreamerBot to use on Windows, the Windows voice control or voice system, right? But so that doesn't work even though you get StreamerBot to work in Linux, it doesn't have the Windows portion of that voice control in it. So I'm wondering how difficult it would be to incorporate, replace this with the Windows portion and be able to use it on all platforms. I don't know the difficulties of that. That's all Nate. He's got a lot on his hands in that. But I just the thought, I wonder in that. So getting voice control, yeah, it's pretty good. It's as you can see, it's picking up not 100% of my words. So when I do have to make my command, when I do make my commands, it has to be, I have to be ready for it. Like computer main view. I kind of stumbled there. So computer, main view. Computer,
Steve,
main view.
Someone has joined the chat on Twitch.
Welcome back. So there you go. So as I'm talking in normal conversations, and hello, Tony. How are you today? Welcome back. We're talking voice control on Linux for my OBS. I got it working. I'm very pleased with myself. Yes, I used AI, but, it was, trying to find out where it would mess up. We would, the first iteration, the first script I ran with the Vosk, perfect. ChatGPT is like, oh, well, let me make this better for you. We can do this, this, and this. We can reduce the possible of you repeating the command within so many seconds, and we can maybe get a sound in there. And when you make the command, it would be like you could do a beep or any type of sound. And then we could do, and as I would try to incorporate those things into the script, it was either getting Alzheimer's and forgetting about the script it gave me. It told me what lines to replace, but then didn't tell me what order to put them in. And it just kind of totally wrecked. So using it, if I was on a higher model, if I was on a paid model, if I was on ChatGPT 5, I'm sure it can build me, something like this within seconds and have it work 100%. The free version doesn't seem to be, it did what I needed it to do, and it helped me put together, how we constructed this, so I can share it with others. Yeah. I'm pretty pleased. So then again, like I said, I ran it through Perplexity, and it kind of cleaned up spaces and a couple of missed things, which didn't keep it from running, but it said it should run really well now. Now, if you would like, we can replace OBS CMD with OBS WebSocket PY. And you could, but the OBS WebSocket Python commands are for a more elaborate kind of setup. And all I need this is for 10 scenes and be able to change them by voice. Simple as that. Like, computer, right monitor. Boom. Boom. There it is. Not have to press the buttons. Computer, left monitor. So I want to show you this. So I had to change. I'm terrible at naming stuff. I don't have a developer's mind, try to keep things organized. I've watched a couple of videos on how to do it and I got a better idea. But if I had something like, main scene, it would pick it up as SEEN, not SCENE. So I'm like, what do I, should it main? No, just the word main doesn't make it. Okay, we'll do it main view. Gameplay was simple enough. It was one word. So I had to change all these into one word. So then I had to go back this morning. I tried to do it yesterday and I was having issues, but I went this morning and fixed all my my touch portal buttons because they wouldn't connect because I changed all the names up in here. So I could add all these other scenes, but I really don't have a need to. I just need voice changes for my main scenes. I don't even have all those other scenes on my tablet deck, on my touch portal deck. Computer, right monitor. So it's kind of set up to as I'm speaking, I kind of have to be quiet at first and, be kind of more specific with the setup. But we'll take a look. I'll show you what the script itself looks like. Again, I needed help with this. I am not good with this. I do have a way, I can figure things out though. And thank you, Tony. It's cool job. Well done. Thank you. Appreciate that. But I like with HTML, CSS, I know enough to where I need to make changes because I constantly take things from CodePen and add them to the stream and change things around so it works for me. I kind of can do that with scripts too. So the Python scripts are, import some solid devices, SD, don't know what that is. Import Q, incorporate JSON, time, blah, blah, blah. From Vosk and uses Caldi Recognizer. I guess that's what recognizes the voice. I'm using from Vosk, the smaller model was like a 50 megabyte download. And the thing about using Vosk compared to Speak to AI would spike every time I would speak, even though it wasn't hearing me. It would jump my CPU usage to 80%. Now, when I'm streaming OBS, it shows I'm using 12%, and my system is usually at 35%, as all my programs are running. Again, I have OBS running, I have Touch Portal running, I have Social Stream Ninja running, I have, which is basically an electronic web browser. I have a YouTube Music app running. I have a web app for the StreamerBot chat. And I have StreamerBot and bottles running. And I'm usually at about 35% CPU usage in that. Yesterday I looked at it. Vosk Verily uses Eddie. The thing about this too, it's private, it's local. It doesn't send anything in or out. It's on your machine. Again, I got it running in a virtual environment, basically, and it works. So this is the language model. You can kind of change it, but I don't need a lot of words. I needed to pick up the words. As you can see, it's it's hearing as I go along. These are the commands I can add to this. I can reduce it. I can change them. These are the commands that it's used that will work with OBS CMD. Put a line in there, phrases, wake word plus, and which will show up down at the low below. It's computer. Things that I'm not sure what these do. So when we start up, it will say voice control ready, say commands like, I'm not going to say it because I don't want to change it right now. And then this is like sample rate and such. So it picks up the right sound. Most of our microphones pick up at about 48 hertz, 48,000. VOS needs 16. So, if you have it at 48, it'll cause issues in that. And then these things do its magic. And then here are the commands, switching, print switching to, and the process. Not very large Python script that includes OBS, CMD, and that. So that's, oops, did I make a change here? Okay, we'll save something. Hopefully I didn't mess anything up there. I did do a backup. I've been learning about that. So, computer, main view. Computer, main view. There we go. So that's my voice control. And it works. And it's simple. If I can do this, anybody can do this. And there's probably, shit, Steve, we've been doing this forever. And also kind of laughing about Chat GPT. Hopefully it's not listening, because they'll get back at us when computers run the world. I can improve this script to, that most Linux streamers use. And we could add this that most Linux streamers use. And it's like, okay. But during the process, it seemed to forget that I was on an Arch-based system, and it would give me like a apt install, sudo apt install VOS. It's like, remember, I'm on Arch. Yes, Arch is a little bit different. Of course it is. But, query it. It's not that I don't, it's not a trust thing. Let's see, what music do I want? I thought I picked out a good playlist, and then now I can't find it. I don't know. Let's start out with something different. Maybe some metal. So that's my voice control setup. I can easily move this to put this in another system now. So very, very quickly and that. But again, yeah, you might be able to use this if you're on a Mac and you don't have voice control. If anybody has a Mac, do they have like a voice control like Windows? Let me know. I've never owned one. I never had one. I've never had an Apple device. So that's what I got going on. So today I do need to fix up some things because I changed in excuse me, the scene names of that. I have to fix some things in StreamerBot. So let's see. Not a lot, but a few. Because most of the commands I got are get current scene. And so whatever the scene is, it's going to grab that. But I have a couple of specific ones that I need to change. Oh, I know what I think. Let's see. Computer, right monitor. Okay, that doesn't need a change. So what have you guys been up to? I'm currently listening to an audio book, Battlefield Earth by L. Ron Hubbard. I like science fiction, but I am not a big science fiction reader or science fantasy reader. I've only read a handful of science fiction books. I'm more of the adventure novelist, like, I love Clive Cussler, the spy novelist, who does Jason Bourne, Robert Ludlum. Detective mysteries, right? Robert B. Parker, or the Longmire series by Craig Johnson, and I'll listen to those audiobooks too. But if you've ever seen Battlefield Earth, I mean, the paperback alone is like 2 paperback books thick. Real long read. And say what you want about L. Ron Hubbard and his Dianetics and all the stuff that's come out of it, the Scientology stuff. He is an excellent writer. And they created an audio book, not just a plain audio book, but it's done. There's 69 voice actors in it, and sound effects and background music, and it's been pretty good. 48 hours worth of listening. So the average audiobook that I get is on average about 10 hours. So, usually if you get 2 hours to listen a day, you're done in a week. You have 21 days for it. If I did 2 hours a day, I would still not be done at the end of 2 weeks. So I'm actually listening to this all the time. I have not been watching much TV or cable stuff or YouTube and that. I've been mostly listening to the audiobook. So if you get your hands on it, I got it on Libby. So free to listen to. Definitely, it's called a cinematic experience for the mind. I know there's probably a lot of audio things out there like that, but it's been really interesting listening to, and I do like it a lot. So if you're looking for something a little bit different, the audio book of Battlefield Earth with all the I think Old Barrel Roll I'll have to change. Yeah. So take a listen to it. Main scene is now main view. Okay. So if we do a test, like I'm not on main view.
Steve, someone has joined the chat on YouTube.
Hello.
Cody.
Hello.
Oh, you. Oh, that must have been a bad one, Cody. You made her. You made her cry. Oh well, I had Mexican 3 days in a row. We made Mexican, had it Saturday and Sunday, and then we went to visit my father-in-law on Monday, and we went to dinner then with his wife afterwards. He's in a therapy center, and had real fresh. Oh, it was really good too. It was really good. My son, who doesn't like rice, really liked the rice. Okay, so barrel roll, breaking news. No, it was just get current scene. That's on its own scene. What else? I don't think I have a lot here that I have to change. Yeah, this one. The robot. In fact, I have to continue making it. So I had to rename all my scenes to make it easier for voice control to handle the changes, the voice. You're going to be in and out of the background, still at work, just needing something to keep my computer to not lock on me. Okay. Always happy to have you. And Cody, I love your car setup. You just be careful when you're driving. You could get a ticket from that. Let's see. Background full. So that goes to the main view. Okay, that's set up okay. Yeah, I don't have a lot that I have to fix. Because if I do have a scene change or something, it's set to just grab that scene. Let's see. That should be okay. Yeah, just a couple, I think. Most of them are not tied to a scene, but I wanted to fix this as I can. I do know I have to, I believe, fix my Polaroid. Because I think this might be a little messed up. So we're going to run a Polaroid test. Test trigger. It should go. And didn't trigger the background removal. Yeah, there's something messed up on that. And then the background remover doesn't turn off. Okay. And this had nothing to do with what I was doing, but I've noticed something that changed. Background removal visible. Let's see. Photo comments. Oh, let's see. I have another scene that's photo op. I'll be right back. You'll see a change, but you probably won't be able to hear me. Hi. Oop. There we go. Should be able to hear me again. Okay. That's still right. Okay, so the actions are get current scene, which say I'm in this scene or whatever scene I'm in. It'll save that to current scene, and then it'll turn on my background removal, and then it's supposed to set the photo op active scene, and within 1 second, um, my cam will show up what's that? Source clone. So I have a source clone in my cam that goes on. Camera countdown for 3 seconds. Then it's supposed to take it's supposed to freeze. I have the freeze on it, so like a Polaroid. And it takes a Polaroid of the screenshot of the group. But something's not firing right. What do I have wrong here? And I always mess up this one. I fixed this about a month ago. Okay, let's run it again. All right, so it's grabbing the old picture. It's not turning the background removal off, but it's not turning it on. So this should be turning it on, background removal, visible, because I don't have it run all the time. Like this is on, that's off. So the background removal should come on, so it picks up the photo op. Did I not set up? When I moved things over, I had to remove some of my uh, um, the Droid Cam setups because it seemed to be, even though I use Droid Cam both on Windows and Linux, when I reset it up in Windows, it had a little mess. So I don't have a Polaroid one. So that's what's happening. So it's just triggering. Okay. I'm going to disappear for a second again, or at least my voice will. Let's go to Photo Op and take a look at that. Okay, so now, oh, I did put my microphone on this scene so you can hear me. The background remover is not working on this scene. Why? Because I need to filter on this the source clone. That's what I. Background removal. So there we go. Although it's not a great background removal. It's not going to show up here, Cody. So that's the part of the problem here, I think. Can feather a little bit more. The real the real bright background. Muted? No. Okay. So that's the problem there. All right. Computer, right monitor. Take a look at that one scene. I think that was a middle scene. All right. So actually, I need to change this to scene. Photo op. Droid cam. And background removal. Okay. So that should take care of that. And I can take care of that right now. Okay. And then it seems I don't have there. Okay. So I don't have where the background remover shuts off. So let me duplicate this. Let's go at the bottom and then turn this to hidden. And then let's move this. I can put it there, I think, for now. All right, let's see how much we fixed. Run the test trigger. Okay, so they turn off on that, but it's not taking the right screenshots. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, it's actually actually I have two screenshots that happen. One that's in the photo app. This one has a lot of actions to it. Oh, yeah, I tell you, I also I repaired a washing machine yesterday. Here, computer story time. Okay, so about a month ago, we have a Samsung washer. We've had it for about 10 years now. It's been working it works really well. Gets unbalanced once in a while, but my wife washes a lot of sheets and stuff, so that's nothing. But we started getting an error code that we didn't get before. You know, the unbalanced ones are easy to fix. You just pull the clothing out, kind of rearrange it so the drum's not so unbalanced. It was coming up with 4C, so it wasn't receiving water. I left it unplugged for a while, resets everything. It seemed to work. But my wife went to do laundry on Saturday before she went to work and asked me to take a look at it. She goes, it's not filling with water. So I checked through that day. I checked all the water supplies. The water was working, it was turned on. I pulled the hoses off and looked at the filters. The filters weren't clogged. I plugged it back in, it would start the wash, and it would run for a second, and then the water would stop, and I get this 4C error, which means that it's not receiving water. So, later on, when my wife came home from work, she said, well, we have used Sears Repair for our oven quite often, and I think a refrigerator once. So we called them. They charge $129 for the inspection or the diagnosis, and yeah, they got to get paid for gas and all that, but that gets waived if you go and you do the repair. Well, the technician was really nice. He was really good. He was explaining a lot to me, showed me how the cover and that came off. It was like a total of 9 screws, 6 on the bottom, 3 on the top, to get to the unit that has the pumps that are the valves for the water supply. Okay. He goes, yep, do the test. You're the pump, which happens on these Samsungs, and I had been looking it up, and there's a lot of repair videos on it. He goes, the problem is Samsung parts are kind of expensive, but let me put a price together for you. Literally $299 for the part, which you can get a direct Samsung part for $188. And, hey, not the tariffs. No, it's not the tariffs. But they're going to charge $299. And then for him, it took him 5 minutes to get the unit. Another $300 fucking dollars for labor. I'm like, we could get a new washer for that price. So okay, we'll pay the diagnosis. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for your honesty and all that. He goes, you can find these on Amazon. He goes, but they're not Samsung parts. So I watched a couple of videos and, and I looked up, I found a part on Amazon, and out of 159 comments, only 2 were bad. And it was like $40 for the part. All right. Well, if it gets us we've had this machine for 10 years. If it gets us another year or so out of it where we don't have to spend, we got the money, but, you don't want to spend that money, right? If we don't have to. It literally took me about 15 minutes to get the back cover off, flip the front cover over, pull out the old pump, put in a new pump, put everything back together. 15, 20 minutes. And they wanted to charge $300 in labor. That's the worst. The outside of the technician was great. Guy's name was Lewis. He was, just like, yeah, he goes, if you're going to buy a new machine, he goes, these Samsungs, one, the parts are very expensive. And 2, with the tariffs going on right now, they're even more expensive. But they wanted to charge $111 more. I know they got to make their money, but the markup was unbelievable. And $300 for labor for something that took me 20 minutes to do. That's worse than a car mechanic. So I repaired a washing machine and we did our first load and it worked. Now, whether that $40 part will last for a while, shit, if it happens again for $40, I'll do it again, I could have gone to 188 for a brand new, but 188 from Samsung itself, 299 from with Sears ordering it. Sorry, Sears. We'll think twice now about your repair service. So there's my story about repairing a washing machine. Fun, huh? All right. So I need to look at where was I going? Before I went on a rant here. We have some upcoming ads coming up on Twitch in 3 minutes. All right, so I have to look at my screenshot group. Is that part of my photo op? So, okay, so you should still be able to hear me. So this is the group. That doesn't. So I'll be turning my filter. Oh, it's okay. Wrong group, wrong thing. Filter, background removal. We'll turn that on. So this is the group that gets the screenshot. And it doesn't seem to be saving it. Where it's supposed to. Because in essence, I take 2 screenshots. There's this screenshot. And the other one, it comes down and then it takes a screenshot of just that Polaroid group. So why is this one not taking? Let's see. It's set for quality auto, but I moved it up to quality 100%. I'm going to go in. So this should be screenshot. That should be it. Can I test that? I forget. Yeah, I can test that. So got the Simpson background. I just took it. Computer right desktop. Computer right desktop. Oh, computer right monitor. Dope. That's an old picture that we had taken. It's not overwriting this picture, and I don't know why. Why did that stop working? Why did that stop working? Okay. Okay. I think let me check something. Let's bring up bottles. Ah, it's not bringing up my bottles. Why are you not? Let's do a new window, see if that works. There we go. Let's browse my bottles C drive. Okay, I was in. So originally when I went in there, it had was saving it in a different spot. Okay. Go back over here. We still got the why is it not taking a screenshot now? Got the connection right. The screen is photo op. It's my screenshot group. Okay, that is the right. So that should take the screenshot and add it. The Z drive is still my home drive on Linux. Worked before. Let's see. How about if I just delete this and put a new one in? Sometimes that works. I don't know. Changes might be different. Delete. So you see what I'm doing? I'm going to delete this screenshot sub action and put it in again. I'm going to delete that. Yes. And I need a add the core. No, it's OBS. Take screenshot. So the connection is my Linux connection. The scene is going to be, whoops, photo op. Source is a screenshot group. Ooh, for a few dollars more. Like those old spaghetti westerns. Okay. Let me go back. We're going to test screenshot. Nothing. Why are you not?
Churrasco, welcome to the mato. Modão batendo no grave pesado. Novinha descendo na 4x4. Welcome to the mato.
Hey, Hans. How you doing, my friend? Welcome to the stream. Ultimate playing with shit on Linux. And those two are old photos. What the hell? Why is this? What if I delete these two old pictures? Computer, right view, right. Ugh. Computer, right monitor. Okay. Okay. Cancel that for a second. Let's go and let's do it this way. Because it's using OBS screenshot, but it's not using it in the same way. I think. Am I looking at? No, because it won't read my home file. It is. It's put into my home folder. Not where I wanted it. That's what it's doing. Here, so this is my home folder, but it names, okay. Well, I was re-showing or re-speaking the voice control today, Hans. And I was showing that, and then I because I certain changes that I had to make in OBS to make the voice command simpler. I had to change my naming scheme on my main scenes, and now I'm fixing some of those scenes. And I also needed to fix my Polaroid, and I think I know now what I am kind of doing. But it's but I don't have bottles set up to read my home folder. I want it reads my home folder, but it reads my OBS folder. I was trying to restrict. It's not bringing up the other folders for here. And that's the problem with using wine or bottles. Let's see. Let's so cancel that. Or a screenshot. And this was an issue I had when I was using wine about a year ago. I figured it out. Because I actually don't think I need file path in there. But we shall see. I'm going to go back to my photo op. Let's do a test snapshot from SpeakerBot. Let's go back to, oops, right monitor. There it is. All right, so I think I'm getting somewhere. So I don't, even though I was selecting the folder I use for my OBS setup, it's still placing the screenshot in my home folder. And this is the problem I had when I was on the wine version. Well, bottles is the wine version, but back a year or so ago when I installed it on Pop OS, it would change the name, and I would never be able to pick it up. All right, so now I get it. Okay. So I can, that's fine there now. And I go to the other one. Let's see. Photo camera countdown, freeze. Okay, where did the oh, that's right. I gotta move I deleted. I gotta move this up. That's right. That's right. So let's move this. I gotta move this up. Let's see if that's the right spot. Let's see. Now I can fix this one. Because that was still set up from my Windows. I thought I fixed it. Maybe I fixed it on Windows and I didn't fix it here. All right. Let's run a test. Oh, wait, let me go back in. I got to turn off. Oops. The background will filter for now. Okay. All right. So we'll be on our main view. We'll run a test. Take me to here. Picture comes up. Close but no cigar. Not working 100% yet. So okay. So it is taking a snapshot, but the picture's not showing up. So what did I do wrong here? Okay. So activate the background remover. We move to the photo op for the background, which then activates the so I gotta turn off. That's right. I gotta turn off. It is off. Okay. We do the camera countdown. Takes the screenshot. So, okay, I think. Do okay, let me go back. You're gonna lose my voice for a minute. Not that you guys won't mind. All right, sorry about that. I keep forgetting that I don't have a mic on that scene on that. So it turns out I don't think I set up the Polaroid from here. I had still the Windows settings in there, and the font was missing. So I think I got it now. So let's give it a try. Fingers crossed. All right. One more thing to do. Fix the text. Fix the text. So let's do it this way so you guys can hear me as I'm doing it. Computer, left monitor. Computer, left monitor. And then we'll go to studio mode. And that's topic 258. If you're watching, thanks for the follow. Okay. So the text, random line. So actually, I need to fix that on the streamer bot end. Photo comment. That's what it is. Okay. Random text. This one hopefully should be easy to fix. Where's my text files there? Random text, open. Okay. All right. Let's see what we did here now. Test trigger. Go to photo scene. Shoot myself in the head. Although the sound's not going off, but we're just about 100% there.
Home of the good burger, can I take your order?
Hello, Nate. Welcome to Mayhem. Lennox and Mayhem. Trying to get something fixed. But this is what I did. Computer, left monitor. That's what I was talking about. I got voice control working for Linux, for my Linux setup. You can have all sorts of voice control for Linux, but this is the one that I set up, or was helped with the setup by ChatGPT. Yay! So how you doing? I haven't had a chance to see you got to send a couple messages here. Sounds like your jam. Which one? All right, go to studio mode. I want to fix the text up. We'll make it. I do. Let's see. Do I have a script one? I gotta add a new. The Mayhem. Well, with me, you always come to the right spot with mayhem. No, that's right. I still have to. I got to add my. I think I did have Comic Sans as the font for this. Because I don't think I have a script. I don't think that will look right, will it? No, I have to add a new font. That's what I was missing, my font too. So I want it like squiggly or comically written. All right, that's what I'm going to do offline. Your guest hosting on Destination. Your guest hosting on Destination Lettuce again tonight. While we are recording tonight, I have fun doing these podcast things. Well, good. No music. No. I'm looking for a, yeah. You guys can see a script here. I don't know if this is just a lot. There's a lot of kind of crappy fonts. I shouldn't say crappy. A lot of fonts, a lot of nose sans fonts, but nothing that I want to use. Can't find a script font. Linux is very good. It's an operating, well, no, it's not an operating system. Yeah, it's fine. It has its. Let me just get something in here. But like, why all these fonts loaded into our Endeavor? I don't know. And none of them are cool. They're not cool fonts. None of them are cool. I want squiggly. I want like a handwritten or a handwritten font. Oh well, I'll add my own font in when I get it. All right. Get out of studio mode. Run this test. I'm going to use my. See if this works here. There we go. Background. Pose. Oh, I do have a microphone on that scene. All right. The Polaroid is working again. Yay. That reminds you of the show 24, the beeping. Love it. Did you hear the beeping? I wasn't hearing the sound. I might not have that set up. All right, that's fixed. So, okay. Computer, main scene. Oh, got to remember what I changed things to. Computer, main view. So I might add a sound to it. I'm trying to find a like on Star Trek, they have the confirmation sound, the after they say computer. So what a challenge. What a challenge. You'll send me all the sound effects you have? Okay, cool. I was looking at a couple of my favorite sites that I get most of my stuff from, and they had some of the older ones, but I wanted it from like TNG. Or anything after with TNG. So the whole idea with the voice activation for OBS is because on Windows I have it through StreamerBot, but StreamerBot is connected to the Windows voice activation dictate whatever, so it uses Windows. So even installing StreamerBot into bottles or wine on Linux, you don't get the speech activation because it doesn't have, the bottles and that doesn't install a Windows version. I don't know if there is. So I started looking into how I can get this done. In the last 4 weeks, maybe, I've learned more about easy effects and creating profile sounds so my voice changes, because I can't get VSTs to work on Linux in a Wayland environment because of the Windows issue. Like, we can't do custom browser docs, so VSTs won't work because you can't open the windows that will control the VST. So the hologram, the matrix, the hacker, the fire, all don't work in Linux because I can't use VST. So what am I going to do? Well, what's the point of having a hologram effect? What's the heck of having this if you don't hear a hologram sound? So this is the one I got set up to easy effects. But getting the Windows version, X-Wayland absolutely is horrible with OBS. Some people may have had a good experience or decent experience, but even in X-Wayland, there's other issues that go on. I tried it. I could easily find some that runs on X11, but what's the point of going backwards? It's all because of the Chromium Embedded Framework waiting for them to say that, okay, we'll work in this new Linux Windows environment, Wayland. Now, it's been moved up their list. It's been talked about several times, but Toyota wants to build a new info system, and they plan to use Linux. And I'm not sure what base they plan to use, but it's going to have Wayland. So they asked Ceph to work on that, and it's been moved up the list. Toyota is not a small company, right? But it's one that even hasn't moved the Chromium Embedded Framework people to light a fire under their ass and get it going. We all know software and development and all that could be either real quick or it's just like, well, whenever there's time. So a year or so ago, when I went to Endeavor and I tried X-Wayland, oh my God, it really screwed up other stuff on OBS. So I worked on learning how to Easy Effects is there to improve voice and sound, not destroy it. So it's you know but it works. It works. And then usually you can get StreamerBot to run bash scripts, but it seems like running it from a Windows environment and bottles to try to get a bash script to run in Linux wasn't working. So my workaround there was to use write the file in StreamerBot and then create a script that looks for specific file changes. And when those files change or get updated, it triggers the voice change, or basically profile, EasyFX profile change. I use a bash script to start up Touch Portal, Social Stream Ninja, my YouTube Music, and StreamerBot and StreamerBot's website chat window with one click, because I have that in a plugin on the Windows OBS. And then I finally got voice control to work over on with Linux here, which is probably not hard in the first place, but it was new to me, and the fact that I got this. Can we just clear the air here? But yeah. Oh yeah, that still works. So but it was a challenge doing some of this stuff using Chat GPT to help me, because my script writing abilities are pretty low.
Do a barrel roll.
Oh, this should work. I fixed it today. No. Oh, come on. I just fixed this. Boop, 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 boop. Where is it? Okay, I think that might have been it. Let's see.
Do a barrel roll.
Okay. All right. Because my main can source hasn't changed. Okay. Okay. That's where it changed. All right. Here we
Do
go.
a barrel roll.
Oh, I should have a vomit scene there. All right, I had to change because I had to rename to keep things a little more cohesive with the voice control. I had to rename all my scenes. Computer left monitor, and it doesn't like when I'm talking a lot of words. I have to stop. Computer left monitor. There we go. So I had to rename all my scenes, so which means over in StreamerBot, if I've used specific scenes, I got to rename those scenes in my actions, and I didn't do that. What's cool about OBS though is you rename a scene, and in like advanced scene switcher and all that, it adjusts those right away. So, all right. Computer, main view. Yay. But I'm pretty pleased. I'm pretty pleased I got that working. You know, not just the barrel roll, but I can fix that. But to kind of figure out how I'm doing this stuff and working with it that way. But it's pretty cool. It's pretty easy to set up. I posted on my Discord the steps I used. If anybody wants to try this, I can also give you, the script that I have. Again, a pretty simple setup. I was surprised. I went through a lot of hell trying to get Speak to AI working, which is supposed to be pretty good, and it wasn't. It just didn't do the job. Sometimes simpler is better. Simpler is better. I tend to complicate things in that. But I am going to sign off for now. I will probably be on again later. I don't know if I'll do Linux again or be on Windows. It'll be, half of one, half of the other. Because I can, I'll have some free time tonight. So I hope some of you can come back then. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I'm tired now, getting this stuff working again. So, computer, let's say goodbye. Computer, let's say goodbye. Let's see. We know it's working. Oh, it's picking up as left. Computer, let's say goodbye. It's picking up let's as left. So it does make mistakes. I think I might have to change that. Let me look at the script there for a second. I did change it. I made it. It wasn't picking up left. I don't remember. I don't remember some of the commands I put in. That's me. That's being old. Computer, time to say goodbye.
My spidey sense is tingling.
Oh! You sneaky! I want to thank Res1 Coder, Fowie Steve, Mr. Tony, Kodiak Lamer, Hans CCT, and Cubicle Nate for joining this afternoon. Oh, I didn't think I had that. Oh, man. Thanks, Nate. Again, I will probably be on again tonight around 6:30-ish Chicago time. So I hope you can be around. Nate, you're going to be doing a thing. I'm a wimp. You're strong. You're strong. I'm going to go cry. Bye.